because they posted a video of Lamar Jackson throwing the ball to Sammy Watkins. Look at this. Great new connection. These two are going to crush it. Internet. What a terrible fucking ball from Lamar Jackson. Yeah. This guy can't throw a football. Oh my God, this guy stinks. They had to delete the tweet.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, we did not say that about Lamar. We do not believe that about Lamar. In any practice, there's going to be a ball that gets wobbled or dropped. That's something that happens at practice. We were just pointing out the fact that the Ravens social media team was like, boom, here's a fucking home run. We're going to put this out. Miami Dolphins did the same thing.
Oh, Miami.
Yeah, Tua talking to connecting with Tyreek Hill on a deep ball. It looks awesome. It sounds great in theory, but the internet immediately upon seeing this slow motion deep ball said, oh, Tyreek Hill had to come to a complete stop. Tua doesn't have a strong enough arm, and it's going to be a terrible relationship, just like everybody said about Tua's arm strength. That's exactly what the internet said. Now, could that ball have slipped a little bit out of Tua's hands? Yes.
Sure.
Could he be throwing into a very, very strong wind that we don't see? Yes. Mm-hmm. Could they still be figuring it out? And that is literally the first one that Tyreek has run, and he doesn't know how far he needs to put it because Tyreek Hill is a different fucking animal. Yes. All these things could be the case. But as soon as you put this on the internet, and the conversation is already a little bit about whether or not Tua can keep up with Tyreek's strength, the internet's going to do their thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what the internet, Tua doesn't deserve. Tua's been through enough already.
He has.
Dolphins social media team's going to figure that out. I feel like they're looking at their mentions. Oh, no. How come nobody's like, this is going to be an electrifying new duo for at least the next 3 years? How come nobody's talking about the AFC East having the fastest motherfucker on earth? Maybe DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
$50,000 maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
At wide receiver down in Miami with an offensive guru at head coach who turned around every single offense he's ever been a part of. How come nobody's talking about that? They're just talking about his own. Well, that's because that's what Twitter is. Gumpy, how is this the first video we see of Tua and Tyreek? It can't happen, Gumpy. Can't have it.
As someone who lives and dies on the internet, this was very tough to watch. With the rocket emoji, putting it out. I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing?
Now, with that being said, hey, ball wasn't on the ground.
It's a decent ball.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It's always
Maybe
there.
he was open by 20 yards and he said, hey, I just got to get it to him.
Get in. By the way, if you remember Wasp,
Yeah.
I think Wasp, the play in the Super Bowl that Pat and Tyreek Hill called, I believe Tyreek came to a complete standstill. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, Patrick Mahomes is on a full sprint backwards.
Right.
And it ended up being like a 65 or 70-yard throw when it was all said and done. But Tyreek stopped, caught that, ran around, I think. If not, there's other examples of that. So this isn't the first time that Tyreek has had to stop for the quarterback throwing him the football, probably throughout his entire life. But I don't think that's the right first one.
Maybe they were working on the Carl Wentz, Joe Flacco special, where you huck it up there and the receiver has to run back through the D-back.
Hey, Commanders fans, that is quite a delight from Carson Wentz.
Yeah. They're going to love it.
Carson Wentz, we had got a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
Normally, we've been on the other end of that, and we didn't really have a quarterback that was full, hey, we're going to get pass interferences because we're able to extend the play, which Carson Wentz does well. And then we're able to underthrow a little bit so that the wide receiver has to stop in the corner at 21 miles an hour, can't stop, and runs right to the wide receiver. Receiver puts his hands out. Oh, whoa!
Trying to catch it.
Whoa! Spot foul. We are in field goal range.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the Commanders are getting that. And maybe that is what Tua and Tyreek and Mike McDaniel are working on down there. Maybe that is the offense that they're thinking about. Because, hey, if you can gain 50 yards a pop with that, which I watched last year, you can. Not a bad little play to put in there.
Do you think it's possible that this was their worst rep and they were like, fuck it, let's let everybody just think Tua stinks. They already do.
Sandbag it.
Let's sandbag him. And then, when he comes out there week one looking like frickin' Jim Plunkett or Kenny Stabler slinging
Or
that
Brad
thing.
Johnson.
Or Brad Johnson. And people are going to be like, where the hell did this guy come from? We saw the stuff all offseason. He's got a fucking noodle arm.
That's a good play.
Why do you think Tua is such a punching bag on the Twitter machine? Why do people not like?
Because the way it is all went down.
Okay.
When your own team does it, everybody else will.
Let's break it down.
That's the way it's all gone down. Hip injury.
Yep.
Can't come back from it. Had a pro day at a train at
that indoor.
Hasselbeck, was it
No.
Dilfer's indoor or whatever. Remember there was a tornado that I think the day of his pro day in there, a tree went down.
Yeah, it was a 30-yard field, so he could throw it the whole length.
Well,
Tony.
see, that's what I'm saying. Like every single part of the process, I think, has had things inside of it that if you were a Tua hater or a Tua doubter, that you have really that has kind of gasoline the flame a little bit. Because his relationship with the Dolphins, wild. Absolutely wild. Could have never projected a top 5 draft pick at quarterback position to be treated the way he was treated in Miami. Now, with the allegations of what's going on behind closed doors allegedly for the last few years in Miami happening, that would make sense because you get this guy and you basically just put him through a mental hell. You have him play and you pull him out with 2 minutes left in the game when it actually matters or on big plays and put in a guy. The way he ended up getting started, announced as a starter, Fitzmagic didn't even know it was coming, said he was heartbroken. They were on a win streak. Yeah. Then there's obviously the times where he misses a game and the Miami Dolphins say, there's no injury. And then it turns out there was hairline fractured ribs. So it's like everything that has happened has been just like more ingredients to the recipe of like a clusterfuck. But if people don't like to all those clusterfucks, they can just say are his fault. Like, well, the reason why he got pulled in the important parts of the game is because everybody that actually saw him in practice and saw him in meetings knew that he didn't know how to run a 2-minute offense, or this was a bad situation. Fitzmagic was much better at this, so he wasn't good enough when it really mattered. He wasn't hurt, so he's missing games. He's softer than anybody. It was like, well, it turns out he was hurt, and then it turns out that maybe something other shit was going on behind the scenes. So I just think there's been a lot of situations that add to the to his trash camp that I don't think is right, by the way. I don't think we have a fucking clue whether or not this guy is good or not. I think he's been given next to no chance in Miami, personally.
There was no need to rush him, though. Like, this all started when they brought him in. You could have rode Fitzy that whole year. He could have sat that whole year. There was no need to do that.
So you sit him the whole year, then he's called a bust.
Yep.
Still getting shit talked about him, but then there isn't the situation between him and Fitz and
dividing the locker room.
Like when they drafted him, everyone was like, okay, he's going to be behind Fitz this whole year. He'll recover from injury, be all right. He'll start next year. That was the thought.
How about when he's not healthy enough to start, but he came in and played?
Against the Ravens
While he was starting, he was in a starting run, doing well, getting pulled out of a couple situations. What's going on? And then, he's too hurt. He can't start or whatever. Then he comes in like the third quarter, I think, and plays really well for the rest of the game. It's like, what the fuck is going on down there?
Also, I don't know if it helps that Burrow and Herbert were also in the top 5 or 6 or whatever it is.
Oh, they're very
Herbert
good.
was after him.
Yeah, because Telesco said. Whoever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to us.
We liked all 3 quarterbacks that potentially were going to get picked ahead of us or whatever. They end up with Herbert, who is now being talked about like he's Josh Allen almost.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this might be the next prototype.